Hey everybody, and welcome to Stock Abilities. I'm going to be talking about Northern Dynasty Minerals today. It is a mining company. Some of you may be familiar, some might not. So make sure to listen in if you'd like, or if you want to know what exactly happened. I'm going to be covering that here in this video. So make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you want more videos about NAC and other companies just like that. As you can see here, it was all the way down pretty low a little while back. It was over 3, and then it kind of dipped, and then crashed. Some bad press from Seeking Alpha and a few other places, and it was very low. They bought in a lot of insiders, institutions, things like that around this area here. Then a little bit of a growth for some interest and some spiking news coming up indicating that the Pebble project might exactly be going very soon. Some nice little spike here for the anticipation, kind of a sell-off of profit takers, then kind of a little stabilization. Then you got this low dip here, and a lot of insiders, institutions were buying right before this, and then spike all the way up, as you can see. You can see the sort of interest here, then almost 4 times as much interest, more and more and more. And this was the initial first steps of the Pebble project that they needed. And then now they were doing the EPA approvals and all that kind of stuff. And before that happened, you had a 26 million volume. At the current price, that would be anywhere from 30 to 40 million, depending on when exactly the volume was bought in. And then a big spike up, and then a way major dip. And a lot of people are wondering, well, why exactly did this happen? And we're going to get into that here in just a second. I'm going to show you guys here. Northern Dynasty Minerals is now an 100% owner of the Pebble Limited Partnership, and they covered a lot of stuff here in the recent announcements if you want to check them out with the EPA settlement, which is one of the big things they were waiting on. But the real thing here is very simple that a lot of people before investing should have looked into, is that the construction is expected to take 4 to 5 years. So you're not going to be seeing any real results, or they're not even going to be really starting until 4 to 5 years from now. That means looking at like 2021, 2022, that's pretty far away. And now if you're a long-term holder, that's great. But until then, you're not going to really see much going on with this company. It's not really doing anything else. However, the nice thing is once you're at that point, you got a stable, sustainable production as they estimate 20 to 25 years. So I'd say closer to this 4 to 5 year mark is when you should probably start buying in. But if you buy in now and you got the money to spare, it is worth getting into this early on. Expectations maybe $10, $20 a share, maybe even 30 depending on the partners that they negotiate with and work with. As you can see here, uh, after all this, they're not sure what they're going to do beyond that point, but that's a long time away, so they got plenty of time to figure that out. The most notable thing here is the minerals are worth an estimated 400 billion. This is right off like a Pebble Watch website here. It goes into details about it, but the main thing is here is an estimated 400 billion. That's a lot of valuation for just one company. And if the right partner is a part of it, now that they have the EPA and everything else cleared and ready to go, this company could really spike in value very soon, but probably not. So you're probably not going to see much of anything. Maybe some press fluff going to spike it and all that. Then kind of a gradual growth up closer to the expected launch date. And going a little bit further here, the 3 main things here is they needed the state of Alaska to approve the Pebble project. They needed the EPA to essentially continue and approve what they wanted to do with the mining operation. There was a little bit of a delay, last minute signing information. They seemed pretty confident at this point, so this would have been a great time to buy in. And then you got of course, the official approval. It spiked up temporarily, then spiked down as I showed you earlier. It's a 5-year out project. That's going to be a very long time until anyone starts noticing any results or any profit with this company. Until then, they're going to kind of burn through money with the operations and prep and all of that. I'm sure they got, if they get a good partner with them, you're going to see a spike in the stock price when that point happens. So this is kind of like a swing at this point, and then a long term after that. Uh, I'm guessing the next big news is going to be some kind of partner to associate with this project. And you're going to see maybe some kind of press, like a conference or something like that, going into how excited they are for it. That's going to spike the price as well, so that is something to keep in mind. These are both going to be kind of like a fluff spike because it's 5 years out, so don't expect a whole lot to be happening. If you're holding now and you're doing it as a long, expect maybe 3 to 5 years with some spikes in between. As you can see here, you received notice of an approval of a miscellaneous land use permit from the Alaska Department of Natural Resources for its ongoing activities in the Pebble project in southwest Alaska. And then they talk about how excited they are. There's a lot of miscellaneous details and forward-looking statements that every company has. Nothing that exciting there. Then the motion states, the parties have identified a likely framework for settlement and requested a short 1-week extension for the current state to allow the parties the time necessary to finalize the agreement and obtain the required approvals. Then, of course, the follow-up for that. From the outset of this unfortunate saga, we've used nothing more than fairness and due process under the law, right to propose a development plan, and then blah, blah, blah. Then it says, today's settlement gives us precisely that, the same treatment every developer and investor in a stable first world country should expect. And then they're all excited about that, of course, because they can go ahead with the project that's going to be literally billions of dollars worth, and they're looking for a good partner. Something to keep in mind here, the PPL estimates that the project would need about 1,000 full-time employees for the first 20 to 25 years of mine operation. So that's going to cut significantly into the actual profit margin, but that's something to think about a very, very long time from now. They have a very long PDF if you guys want to read that, but it's mostly about permits and infrastructure and other miscellaneous things. There's some important details in there, but I'm not going to read through 529-page preliminary assessment. I get the general idea. Something nice to note is that they cleared out an offering very recently, so they got a little bit of a budget to run off of and burn through. You know, there's some fluctuations in the price. Might even be able to get it even cheaper than it currently is, because shorts are going to be attacking this like crazy simply because they know there isn't going to be a whole lot of news coming up for the next 5 years, so it makes it a very vulnerable stock until that point. Going a little bit further here, as of December 31st, cash equivalents 7.2 million, and then 3.8, and December 31, 2016, respectively, and had a deficit of 406 million. So they're not exactly like booming in profit or anything, but of course that's because they are a mining operation that needs to literally mine to make profit, and their production won't start for 5 years. This just gives you an overview of the Pebble project, seeking to develop a globally significant deposit of copper gold. Just more specifics about the valuation. I mean, 70 million ounces of gold is a lot of gold expected. Silver, 344 million ounces of silver. This is a big mining operation. This isn't like a little rinky-dink thing that they put together. This is like billions of dollars. So the growth of the stock, no matter which partner they get, at the very minimum, you'd expect at least $10 a share. So it's good to buy in now before that expansion. This just breaks down more details. You can find it on their website for investors. The assumed measurements and valuations and all of that. That about sums up everything I wanted to cover with the Northern Dynasty Minerals. Now, if you want more videos on Northern Dynasty Minerals as they happen, I'll try to be posting them up, but I don't expect a whole lot of exciting news coming up. As I said, maybe a conference, maybe a few other things with all their excitement, but that's going to be mostly fluff news that isn't going to hold the value very well. There's going to be a lot of short attacks, so at this point, it's a swing/long. I wouldn't bet on trying to day trade it unless you get in on like a conference or something. A swing long, expectations minimum 10, maybe 30. Of course, I'm no stock and financial advisor, I would say, so I wouldn't trust 100% in me. I do your due diligence to look over the stock, but to me it's looking very good, and I'll be putting up a long position probably in a month or two, let the volatility kind of go in and out, see where it sits at, and hop in. I see that as at 10, so even if I get it at 3, I'm still making $7 a share of profit. Might be a 4 or 5 year hold, but that's a huge sum of money that's going to gradually go up close to the mine operations time. Thanks for listening in. Make sure to like and share this video, subscribe to the channel, and if you have any questions, comment below. Have a nice day.